Hello, 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 and a very warm welcome to yet another bite-size marketing session with me, Miles from Miles Marketing. Now, apologies if you can hear some rumblings in the background. They've suddenly decided to mow the lawns on the country estate that I live on. Only joking. So apologies if there's any background noise. Today we are going to talk about look, I haven't updated my slide. As if by magic. Today we are going to talk about LinkedIn business pages and do you need one? Okay, so as you know, we're here every single Tuesday at 12:30 where we go live on LinkedIn and we talk about marketing bits and bobs, but every single month we have a special guest. And this month is no different. You may well have seen the schedule. And yes, next Tuesday, the 11th of April, we have the glorious, wonderful Stephen Shaw, who's coming on to talk all about, he refers to it as the M word, and that M word is the metaverse. He's an absolute expert on the metaverse, and we're going to have a brilliant chat about it and its relevance, and maybe its relevance to your business. So tune in then if you can at 12:30 live, or watch it on catch up at your leisure. Right, now, let's dive into this is a question that I get asked a lot, actually, about what's the importance? Which one? Should I focus on my personal page? Should I focus on my business page? Let's see if I can shed some light and perhaps answer this question for you. As usual, please pop any questions that you may have in the chat, and I will do my very best to answer them. If you're too shy or too late to post a question on this live broadcast, then you can see my number down in the bottom right hand side. Why not drop me a WhatsApp and ask me your question there? I do love an inappropriate GIF if that helps you break the ice. Now, what happened there? Oh, that was like the reveal of the magic of television, wasn't it? Eh? Little slip there. Up the editor must have. It's all going crazy today. It's all going crazy. Right. Let me compose myself and start again. LinkedIn business pages, and do you need one? The answer to this question, I suppose, is it all depends, right? It all depends. My gut says yes. However, if you're an individual like myself who runs a professional services business, I would say the answer's potentially no, right? There are benefits to having one, and we'll talk about those today. But the main struggle with LinkedIn and social media in general is keeping up on the content, right? Is keeping it active and relevant. Because it's really important to remember this, that just creating a business page and posting to it once or twice and then leaving it dormant because you can't be bothered with it will actually do you more harm than good in the long run. Because if there's not a company page there, then there's not one for people to find some negative story. And when I say negative story, it's just it's the optics of how it looks. So let's say that I was looking into using someone's personal services and I found that they did, let's say you were looking to use a marketeer, right? And you wanted some marketing advice on how to use LinkedIn properly. And you searched and you found me, someone said, oh, use Miles Marketing. And you search for Miles Marketing on LinkedIn, you'd find the Miles Marketing page, right? Well, you wouldn't actually. And the reason you wouldn't is because I commit to keeping this, right? Miles Marketing, I am my brand, right? It's sort of one and the same, if you like, in terms of my personal profile. So I haven't invested the time in a business page because I don't want to slack in terms of keeping it up. Because if people go onto it and they see the last time I updated it was 3 months ago, 6 months ago, worst case scenario, 18 months ago, they're going to think, well, this guy really isn't active. Whereas they will find me, Miles from Miles Marketing, on LinkedIn, and they will see that actually I am active. I'm on here every week. Does that make sense? I hope so. So I would say if you have a business where you have employees, then it definitely makes sense. And I would say, yes, have a business page. If you're a personal service person, then again, I would say consider, if you're not doing anything at all, focus on your personal page first. And if you have time and resources to do it, then get yourself sorted out with a business page. Now, we're going to look at some of the detail here. Right? I want to make this sort of session not just about me saying, yes, you do, right? I want to give you some detail. So first, let's look at some of the sort of caveats in terms of you getting a personal page, because a business page, because it doesn't just happen on its own, and not everybody can get one. So if you're making notes, here's how to make some notes. First of all, and I'm looking down slightly because I'm reading some notes, right? So first of all, you need a LinkedIn profile, a personal profile that's set up with your real Christian name and surname. All right. The profile must be at least 7 days old. You can't just set up a profile and then set up a business page. All of these sort of things have been put in place to make sure that businesses are sort of verified, if you like, and are bona fide. You must have a profile strength of intermediate or all-star. All right. So you can't just set up a profile, leave it sort of dormant for 7 days. You have to actively connect with people, post with people, and get your own ranking of your own personal page up to intermediate or all-star before you can create a business page. You must also have several LinkedIn connections on your personal page before you can create a business page. And there's some good reasons for that, and I'll come on to that in a minute. You also must have a company website address and a company email address associated to that website. You can't just have a Gmail that you associate to it. And you must also list yourself as an employee in the section on your profile that allows you to do that. You know, your current sort of employment, where you need to say that you are an employee of this particular business in order for you to set up the page. Okay, so as long as you tick all of those boxes, you can set yourself up a business page, and it's really quite straightforward. I'm not going to talk about how exactly you do that today, but there are some categories that you can select in terms of what type of business you are. And there's 4 of them, right? There's either a small business, and that's categorized by 200 employees or less. There's a medium to large business, and that's categorized by 200 or more employees. Then there's a showcase page. Now, this only applies if you're setting up a new page as a subsection of a current business page. So let's say that your company had a company page for let's say it was a group. So it has a group page, but you are a subsidiary or a sub-brand of that group. You can set up a showcase page for a sub-page or a sub-brand. You can then also set up an education. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes. Yes, yeah. You can also set up an education. How am I saying this? An educational. I know. All right. It's Tuesday. Okay. An educational institution page, which is also a separate subcategory. Right. Okay. That help you out at all? Right. Let's talk about some of the benefits, if you like, of having a business page. So it's free, right? First of all, you don't have to pay any money for it. And what it does do for you is it creates another level of visibility, right? And one of the main things about a business page is this: that the feed doesn't get cluttered with everything you like or comment on, right? So if you look at your own feed, or as you look when people view your profile, any interaction that you've had on LinkedIn shows up within that feed. So let's say you like or comment on someone else's post, or you reshare someone else's posts, those things will appear within your personal feed. However, on a company page, only things that are posted to the company page appear in it. So you can't, the company isn't a person, okay? The company can't befriend other people. Does that make sense? There's a distinct difference between a personal page and a company page. In a personal page, you can ask for a friend's request, and people can request to connect with you as well. In a business page, people have to volunteer to follow your page, or you can invite people, but only your connections. Okay. And we'll talk about the rates that you can do that in a second, because it does limit the amount of people that are able to view your posts on your company page. This is, again, another reason why I think that focusing on your own page first and foremost as a single person, if you like, is much, much better. Some of the other reasons why you would want to create a business page is that you can create a careers page associated to it. And recently, for one of my customers, through their business page, I created a job ad. And yeah, we were pretty inundated with inquiries about that job role. So again, it's worthwhile thinking about setting up the jobs or the career page within the company profile too. Now, I just want to talk to you about what LinkedIn say. All right. When I was doing research for this is what LinkedIn actually said were the top 6 reasons for you to have a LinkedIn business page. I'm just going to have a look and make sure that we are indeed live, which I can see that we are. Right. Lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, so these are the LinkedIn top 6 reasons as to why you should have a business page. First of all, number 1, they say that it showcases your company, not an individual. All right. So again, it's a little bit like the optics. Think of it as another shop window, if you like. Think of it as another website, another way of validating your company and giving a bit more social proof without the clutter. Number 2, it allows your employees to act as an indirect ambassador for your company. And I wrote in brackets here, this could be good or bad, right? If you've got good employees, then and they are reliable and they post and comment in a sensible manner that you're happy with, then all great. If they're not, then it could have more harm than good. So be very careful about who and how you allow the interaction and access, if you like, to your business page. Number 3, you can measure the effectiveness of your updates in much more detail. I mean, we've all got analytics on our personal pages, but on the business pages, there is like an extra level of detail in terms of who is viewing your pages and, what the sort of click rates through and all that sort of stuff is. So there is an extra layer of analytics, if you like, within the business pages. You can get company alerts when you are mentioned by another company or another post. Again, handy, I guess. You can promote important news about your business. And because you liking and commenting on other posts don't get in the way of the feed, it will stay quite prominent, and you can pin things to the top and all that kind of jazz. And you can showcase special services. I mean, those were the top 6 reasons why LinkedIn think you need a business page. And to be honest with you, none of them particularly compelling to me. Like, I'm not sort of falling over myself now thinking out that Miles Marketing is missing a trick by not having a business page. So this is very much where I'm sort of saying to you that I think, if you've got a strong business with a number of employees and you've got the time and effort to put into a business page, or if you've got the money to outsource it to a specialist like me, then crack on. If you are a one-person band, or you're just a couple of employees and you're working hard to keep your business going and keep the money coming in, I think that, down to those sort of top 6 reasons from LinkedIn, maybe I wouldn't bother. I've written down, this is what Miles thinks. Well, look, it's my show, right? I'm allowed to say what I think. I reckon that if you can maintain regular updates, then yes, a business page is good for you. But like I say, if you let it lapse and people are going to go on it and they're going to see you haven't posted for 3 months, it's going to have a negative effect on their perception of your business. Okay. So if you're going to do it, make sure you keep it up and make sure you keep it updated. You've got to make sure that you fill out your profile fully on the business page. You've got to get your employees involved in it. Okay. Now, I'll talk about some of the different ways that you can create admins now in a second, because it's on the next page. But, with what am I trying to say here? No one gives a shit about businesses or brands. They only really care about people and the employees, right? So make them the heroes. You'll have specialists within your business that are very capable of writing really good, engaging articles about what they specialize in. Encourage them, help them, provide them with the tools to be able to do that, and then repost those things onto your business page and showcase them. Show off your people, make it proud. Don't make it about your business, make it about your people. Okay, does that make sense? So if you've got, say, 3 or 4 different departments with heads of departments, and you want them to contribute to your business page, then ask them to create content that's relevant to themselves and to what they do that they're proud of, and then they post it to their own profile, and then you can repost it to the business page. I think it is another good reason to be found in search, right? You will get another listing, but as long as you keep it up, that's the important thing. Will it help attract employees? If you want to have an easy, free way of people finding you and doing their little bit of research, then yeah, it's really good for that. And it's really good for posting jobs. And also, on your profile, you're able to sort of put the little sign on there saying that you're hiring, and that attracts more attention to people browsing through things. Now, and the other thing is as well that you can also pay to play. All right. At the end of the day, LinkedIn want to make money. So by going premium, you can get a number of benefits. But in terms of paying for play, you can boost your posts on your business page to get extra reach, to attract more people to follow your page. And you can do it by loads of sort of subgenres to make sure that you're hitting your target markets. It is reasonably expensive. And I would say that LinkedIn is one of the most expensive platforms to do PPC on, right? But it's probably because of the reach that it has and the specific nature of it being more B2B. Okay. So think about those opportunities. Now, I haven't focused on this yet, but this is one of the real big important things that you need to remember about a business page. You can only invite people to follow your business page from your connections. Okay. So I've had a customer recently where they didn't have many connections and they were reasonably reluctant to increase their number of connections. So it was always going to be a limiting factor on how many more people would follow their company page, because you're limited by it. So in terms of your strategy around building your company page, you have got to build your own page first. All right. Because you are not able to invite people unless you are connected with them in the first place. And you're limited to the number of people you can invite in a calendar month. Every first of the month, your quota refreshes. And to my knowledge, the last time I checked, it for the standard membership, it was 150 invites that you could send per month. And on a premium service, you can send 250 invites a month. Now, with another one of my customers, they've got quite a large following, a couple of thousand people on LinkedIn. And over the last year or so, we've actually invited all of his connections to follow the business page. And we built the business page to a couple of 1,200 followers, I think it is now, which is great. But we are limited. We're limited as to only being able to now invite new connections that he aligns with, right? So I just want you to be aware of that, because this is where inviting the rest of your employees to get involved comes in. Now, let me talk about the administrators' roles and the roles that are out there, because this will sort of help you. I would always stress to you this, right? That it doesn't matter how loyal you think people are within your business. You spend a lot of time and money building up your personal profile and your business page. You do not want to hand over the crown jewels to someone else who may, for whatever reasons in the future, be a little bit Machiavellian, if you like, and spoil things for you. So you, as the owner of the business or as the senior manager within the business, you need to retain the super admin rights. Okay, that means you've got access to everything and people can't deactivate accounts and all that sort of fun stuff. So super admin is the top role. Then there's content admins. So you might want to add some of your big contributors within the business as content admins. Oh, what's going on my gob today? They can edit the page and they can publish posts. You've then got a creator level. They can see content suggestions and they can create recommendations for content. And maybe for the analysts within your business, there's an analyst function as well, where obviously they can see the stats and review it all. So as you go down from super admin to analyst, the permissions get less and less and less. So think carefully about who within your business you want to give these permissions to. But what it does is that if you bring someone in as, say, a content admin, and you've run out of your of inviting everyone within your connection sphere, you can then ask them to start inviting people within their connection sphere to follow the page. And that's another way in which you can build it. Now, you can also make sure that you put a link on all of your emails that you send out, stick something on your website about following the page, broadcast it as much as you can. It is completely up to you to promote your company page as much as possible. Inbound requests to follow the page, people have to find your page and click follow. They're few and far between. All right. And my opinion of sending out invitations is actually there's quite a high hit rate. Over 50% acceptance rate, which is like reasonably high, right, for a company page. Make sure you're filling out your profile in full. I've already said that. Make sure that all of your information's on there. Make sure that you've got a great banner. Make sure you put some headlines. You've got good description about the services and products that you offer. Make sure that you're being active on the page. Make sure that you're reposting personnel content to your website if it's relevant, and make sure that you use that recruitment tool. I don't think I can sort of stress anymore. I mean, the top 5 things here is sort of like, if you're going to do it well, fill everything out and do it religiously and keep up on it. Be active with your posting and, make sure that you promote and use your personnel within the business and make them the heroes, not just going on about your business. All right. It's no surprise that the bloody videos about cat, I mean, we don't see many videos about cats on LinkedIn, right? But the personal posts and the personal videos that perhaps some people would say don't have a place on LinkedIn, they're the ones that get the very most engagement and reach. So, like, if that's what works, I'm not saying turn LinkedIn into Facebook. It's not Facebook, but make sure that your posts relate with people, that they're not dull. Ask for comment, get the content, get the interaction, be personal about it. And, use it as a tool for recruitment, right? It's very, very powerful. So there we go. I can't see any questions pop up. I can only assume that I've answered everything you need to know about LinkedIn business pages. And I've answered the question, do you need one? And the answer is probably yes. All right. Probably yes. Right. That's it for now. Thank you indeed for watching live. I can see there's a few of you on there. And thank you to those that are watching on catch up, even though I don't get to see anyone live, but even though I don't get to know that you're on, I do get to see that you watched after the event. So thank you very much indeed. I do appreciate your support. And next week, don't forget that we've got the fantastic Stephen Shaw on, talking all about the M word, which is the metaverse. It's going to be an exciting one. Steve's a fantastic guy. I've known him for 20 odd years, and he's a wealth of information. So if you've got any questions in advance for the metaverse, then get them in. I'm sure we can do our very best to answer them. But until next week, ta-ta for now.